Hello, friends. It is week 21, and I have been following Bashar's formula for 21 weeks, and it's pretty crazy that I've lasted this long with something that I set out to do. I'm pretty notorious for not following through on my intentions, but I have stuck with this, and it has really changed my life and continues to do so. This week was a good week. There's a lot of positive things that are going on right now, a lot to be grateful for. So one of the changes that I decided to make was to increase my protein to 150 grams of protein a day and to meal prep my meals. So I did that last week, and that was great. I followed it religiously all through the week, made sure I had my 150 grams, trying to keep my calories at about 1,500 calories a day, and also working out with weights. So I had a couple of strength training workouts last week, and I also walked at least 5, if not 6 days last week, at least 30-minute walk with my dog. So all in all, I kept with that. That was super. Everything's going fine with the family. Everyone's healthy and happy, and the grandkids are doing okay. They're doing great. It's been fun spending time with them. And my little granddaughter is a month old now, a little bit over a month, and she's so sweet and cute and cuddly. And then my grandson is wild and crazy, but he's doing well too. And my daughter is trying to figure out like how to handle having under two at home. And so I'm trying to help her out like whenever I can with the babies. And so life is good. Life is sweet right now. The challenge that I had this week involved my workplace and a couple of students that triggered me this week because of their behavior, just basically being really defiant and disrespectful and not following the classroom rules. And I found myself getting angry and I really hate that, but it happened. And I calm down. I just don't like to be angry. I don't like to feel that way and to kind of think negatively about people, and it makes me feel bad. So I realize it's about myself, and so it's a great time to reflect. And Bashar says that we should be grateful for those opportunities and thank that person. Maybe not personally, that would be a little confusing to students, but at least in our head, like, oh, thanks for showing me that I'm out of alignment in this area and I have some work to do. And so I was thinking about that this morning, and I have been using AI to plan lessons and such, and I find it really helpful. And so I thought, I wonder if AI could help me come up with a script to use in that situation next time, based on Bashar's teaching. And yes, it can, and it did. So here is the script. I'm going to put my glasses on because close-up vision is a challenge for me. So this is just a quick reference guide that I can use whenever this happens again. So the 3 basic principles are circumstances don't matter, only state of being matters. So the student's behavior doesn't determine my energy. I determine my energy. And everything is neutral. So life inherently is meaningless, which sounds crazy when you say it that way. But we're the ones who give the situation meaning. And so I'm assigning meaning to this student doing X, Y, and Z. So I need to remember that their disrespect is an opportunity for me, and it's not a personal attack. And then my vibration teaches more than my words. So whenever I stay calm and I stay in control, I stay aligned, that's the energy that leads the room. So instead of letting myself be sucked into their chaotic negative energy for whatever reason, I need to keep my alignment. And positive energy is stronger than negative energy. So if I can stay in a positive state, then my vibration can actually affect, the room, the classroom, and other people's vibration. So in the moment, which is the difficult part, right? So when a student is disrespectful, so for example, one of the students decided not to raise his hand before speaking out. He just was speaking out. I called him on it, and he said he just completely disregarded it and just kept doing what he was doing before. And then at another time, he came up to my desk and asked him to sit down. I was busy doing other things and couldn't talk to him right then. I was, being respectful, being calm, and just reminding him of the rules. And he just stood where he was and refused to leave my desk and kept talking and saying the same thing over and over again. So in the moment, I am going to do this silently before I respond. This is just energy showing up, and I choose peace. I am the vibration that I prefer, calm, clear, and grounded. I don't need control. I am in alignment. Take a deep breath. Relax your body posture. And then a suggested response is, so-and-so, I can hear that you're upset, but I'm going to stay calm right now. If they continue, then you say, I'll wait until we can talk respectfully. Just take a moment. Or if they continue to defy, I understand that you don't like this right now, that's okay. I'm choosing to stay calm. And when you're ready, if you're not ready, we'll pause this for now, and then you can join when you're ready to follow the rules of our class. So that's a little possibility. I really like that, validating the student's concern, letting them know that you will talk about it when they are calm and respectful. And then after the moment, which is where I am now, is reflection. So what is the belief that got me triggered in the first place? So all of our behaviors are always driven by beliefs that we have. So when we have a negative behavior, we have some type of a negative belief or negative behavior or negative emotion. So even if I respond positively or neutrally, which is what I did before, I felt angry, but I didn't really act angry. I didn't, let that student know that I was angry. But I felt it inside. So the belief that I think got me triggered is, I have I don't want to say subconscious. It can't really be subconscious if I am acknowledging it now, but I have a belief that if students are out of control, then the whole class is going to be out of control, and it's going to be chaotic, and I am going to be a poor teacher because I can't control my classroom. So I know that that's in there somewhere, and I have a lot of evidence to kind of prove that based on other teachers that I've seen, that students don't listen to what they say, and then the classroom is really chaotic, and then students can't learn. So I know I do, I believe I do have that belief, and I acknowledge that I do tend to believe along those lines. However, if one student is out of control, that doesn't mean that the whole class is going to be out of control. So I need to kind of relax in that area. And my new belief would be, if a student is misbehaving, then that is that student's decision, and it doesn't really have anything to do with me as a teacher. So I shouldn't take it personally. I should just remain calm and use the statements that I just went over, and then also understand that it's more a reflection of what he has going on than it is about what I have going on. And what version of me handled this? So looking back, and allowing that student to trigger me. And it wasn't just him, it was another student, a little girl who wasn't in dress code, and she was just very disrespectful whenever I talked to her about it. And I also got irritated at her as well. So it kind of happened a couple of times probably a few times during the week with different students. So the version of me that handled that is the version that thinks that in order to have a good classroom climate or for students to learn, then I have to have 100% control and authority at all times, which is not really a very realistic belief whenever I look at it, because you're going to have kids that are showing off because they're trying to impress their friends, or maybe they're just having a bad day. Maybe they had an argument with their parents. I mean, there's 100 reasons why they may be being disrespectful or defiant. They're also middle schoolers. They're trying to find their way. They're having trouble, figuring out who they are identity wise. So, yeah, like now that I'm looking back at this, it's probably more realistic to believe that every day I'm going to have at least one student who is going to be in a bad mood and is not going to follow the rules and not going to do what I asked them to do. So that's just normal, typical middle school behavior. So I shouldn't let it trigger me or get upset by it. So what version of me would I prefer to be next time? So next time the incident happens, I want to use the script that I have. I want to remain calm. I want to remain in a good mood. I want to remain positive and believe that I am a good teacher, and that I am respected, and I do have good classroom management. And I'm liked too. That's another thing that I think I've struggled with through the years. Like, I want students to like me. I want them to respect me. And sometimes I feel like I have been too harsh or too hard on students as far as making them conform in the classroom. And I have felt like that I was disliked, and that's not really who I want to be. I want to be kind and compassionate and caring, but I also want to be, I want to have a good classroom environment so that students can learn. And part of that is students need to be quiet at certain times. Like, there's certain times they can talk and, socialize and have fun with their classmates. And I try to make sure that they have a good mix of quiet time and talk time. But it's difficult. It's difficult finding that balance where you allow them to express themselves and to talk to their friends and such. And then there's times that I feel like I need them to be quiet. I think I just repeated that. I don't know what I'm trying to say. But basically, it's difficult is what I'm trying to get at. It's a difficult balance. And the person that I want to be is a person that can figure that out. And also know that I don't need to expect myself to be perfect. And I'm going to mess up, and just like I feel like I did this week. As far as letting kids get under my skin, I know I'm going to have those days. So I need to be easier on myself. So imperfectly calm and collected and relaxed, and also consistent with the particular classroom rules that I have, and kind. I want to be very kind. And I also want to be grateful for situations like that. I tend to be hard on myself and like, oh, why did I let them? I start out every day like, I'm going to stay in a good mood. I'm going to be positive. I'm going to be lighthearted. I'm going to be fun. And then like right away, one of the students does something or says something that triggers me. And then I just kind of lose that intention. So yes, it is a work in progress. And, but I am very grateful to AI. I'm really grateful to Bashar and his work, And I'm great. I feel so empowered, like knowing that this is really about me and it's not about them. And that when I change the belief that I have, and then my behavior will automatically change and it's going to help me. Whereas if I thought that, oh, it's just them, they're just going to, they're just bratty middle school students and they're just going to trigger me and I'm just going to be irritated, like that does not allow for any change or growth, because you can never change somebody else. So I love that Bashar, has these teachings that allow me to reflect on what I'm doing and to take ownership and to make changes like the ones that I'm doing. So that's my week, my challenges and my successes. I hope that you'll share yours, and let us know what's working and not working for you, and how you're applying Bashar's teachings to your lives. And I hope that you all have a fantastic week, and I look forward to following up next week and letting you know how things worked with the little script that AI helped me come up with. Take care.